y'all. Just finished working on my project of adding power to the Bonafide SS127, and it's first time doing it, you know, DIY. And I tell you, man, it's not something I normally do. I normally go out there and get somebody else. I pay them to get it done, and I come back later when it's done. But this time, since we've been stuck at home, I got my drills out, got the things I needed, and began to go to work. So I'm about to show it to you. Hope you enjoy it. You get to see it from a true amateur. It's not a professional, so hopefully, you know, those out there who never tried it before will know they can try it too. It's not that difficult. You just gotta be careful for some things when you start poking holes into your kayak, because that's what I did, and hopefully we won't have no leaks out on the water. But anyway, here it is, y'all. Me putting that my kayak together, powering it up, and the lights. See you when it's all over. Okay, y'all, welcome back. Reverend BigJohn's backyard fishing. We are not on the water today. Today we are actually trying to rig up my boat with the Yak Power lighting system. So far, I've managed to get this one in, and I say managed. Let me just tell y'all, the Rev don't normally do his own stuff when it comes down to this, because I ain't got a clue, man. But this one right here, it went in good now, but when I first was screwing it in, it wasn't quite right, and it was kind of leaning, so I had to come and back it back out and then push it back in there again. But when I did that, it messed up the little black washer that comes with them, which helps seal it. So I'm gonna have to get some sealing around it just to make sure it's cool. Right here, there's a little black ring that helps it sit in there. And so mine got a little twisted, and when I had to re-back it out, it kind of messed up. So that was my first mistake. But once I find a spot where I want it, I mark it just outside of it. As you can see, it didn't like move around like some drill bits that'll slide. This thing is pretty much on point, and I just take it in. Watching where I am, even though this is a 1/2 inch precisely, I still like to be careful. I draw it out, you can see the hole. I think I'm right there on it. Yeah. So if I'm on it, now the one thing with the Bonafide, and this is where this one becomes tricky, is there's no opening. So I'm gonna have to fish this wire out, but I gotta first put it in to make sure we got a good fit. That's it. It's in there, good fit. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but there's those screws, and that's what screws into the plastic, which keeps it up, but you got to make sure it stays flush with the kayak. Well, we are back. I was only going to do the one side, but after looking at the footage, I didn't get the whole drill bit up in there, as you saw. If I showed it to you, I don't know. Maybe I'll just use this part of the footage, but either way, you want to get you some alcohol, wipe down at least 70% alcohol, 90% better. Kind of get this area all cleaned up for the tape. You know, when you don't do this kind of stuff much, you have no idea how many times you done nicked this boat or your boat. And I see now I got some gashes and some wounds. I mean, I'd definitely be out on the water. Y'all know that. So hope all is going well with you and your families, and pray everybody is being safe. I know I am. I keep my butt down. You know, Maryland a little bit trickier on fishing. They talking about unless you fishing for sustenance, and I don't keep most of my fish I catch unless I'm in a fishing mode, or unless I go down to that one private pond in VA. You know, where I get me some bass from time to time and some crappie. You know, but I'm normally fishing for bass, so for the most part I don't keep anything. But I'm fishing for crappie, other stuff like that, perch, I'll keep those, but I'm really fishing for those. So anyway, as I was saying, I'm putting on my lights for the Bonafide. I want my lights pretty much in the same spot. I use this 1-inch tape to give me a marker just above the water line, so I know where I am. So I put my lights just below it, so that enough for it to shine out on the water, or in the water, as well as allow me to see out toward the shore as well. That don't have to be super straight, but it is along that crease line. Like I told y'all, I'm a rookie at all this stuff. Oh, and by the way, I fished it out pretty easy. I just grabbed one of my broken fishing rods and poked back there until I got a hold of it, and it came through rather easily. So maybe I'll show y'all this time, just in case you want to put your Bonafide lights on or your kayak lights on. You know, maybe a DIY from a rookie will encourage you or help you, because I promise y'all, this is not me, man. This ain't what I do, and I ain't trying to mess up my boat, but I declare I'm probably getting close to it. Especially these back ones, because you can't see them. So I'm gonna have to seal them, but I'm gonna have to seal them from the outside. What's it about right there? I had it right along with that, so I mean, I ain't gonna be perfect, I know, but let's mark it there. That'll be where I put my drill bit, put it in. Got my Ascend sitting next to me. This is probably my last year with the Ascend. I'm gonna sell that. I'm gonna pick up another yak, one that's more sturdy for me. And don't get me wrong, I love the Ascend. As a big man though, I just couldn't stand up in it. It was too wobbly, because I'm 6'4", 300 pounds. As y'all know, I've been trying to get down to 250. Started that process beginning of last year. Made it all the way down to 289, was doing well, and then this quarantine hit. And I got on the scale this morning and I was back to 300. Not good, y'all, not good. So I'm gonna have to back off some of this food. So once you get your spot right, line it up. You want to keep your drill bit straight going in. One thing I like about a stepper bit, it doesn't slide. So, you know, start with a nice slow, but pretty much right where you put it is where it's going in, as you can see. You know, it's hard for me to kind of keep the camera down, so hopefully you guys can see it this time, but I wear glasses, so I need to be able to see. I moved it down some, so if you can't see it, forgive me. But we're gonna put this hole in. It's a 1/2-inch drill bit, and that's the size of the lighting, the switch that goes in. So we want to get it to be that 1/2 inch. When you get to that one little gray point, you are there. So I am there. Once that is done, you grab your element, or whatever you want to call it, the switch, the connector. Now you feed it through here. Now the one good thing about the this hookup is, because it's so, you know, it's not like way back here, it's not as hard to fish out, which I thought it might have been trying to grab a hold of it, but the front well is up there, so it's not bad. And so that's why I said I didn't know how long it was going to take me to get it, but it was rather smoothly, rather quickly. There we go. We in there. We in there. We grabbed the Allen wrench. Now, hopefully you can see now. I gotta keep it so that it's straight. That's the hard part. Keeping this thing flush, so that when it goes in, it sits properly. And like I said, you only got one shot. Once you hit this black part, That is it, man. You got one shot to get that right. Hopefully you can see it. I'll back up a little bit. We go all the way around, tighten it. Once it's seated, I'm gonna give it a couple more turns. Make sure it's nice and snug, because remember, this is at the back of the boat. It ain't like you're gonna be able to see it. So make sure it's in there. It's nice, it's flush. You don't want the back all the way to that. You want it right there. Get you a good sit. And there you have it, voila. You know, and then what happens is, once you get everything in place, you just simply plug it in and stick it down. It's also a little screw right here if you want to make sure it's real secure. Screw that on with some kind of silicone or some kind of sealant to make sure no water gets up in there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a rookie putting lights on this boat. Now we're gonna go finish this process, and I will be back when I'm finished to show you the final product. Because pretty much everything else is the same. It's just about drilling holes and connect. Oh, let me just show you this real quick. Here is the main connector, the controller. You just plug everything up into this. You put your switch up top here so you can control everything. There's a remote switch. You can either use the remote control or you can use the manual switch. But you plug everything up in here. I'm gonna put some lights up here too. And got to secure this, and I got a yak power box I'll put down up in there. And I get all this stuff secured so it ain't sliding around. And that's it, y'all. So let me go finish all of that stuff. And as I know it's a mess, I'll be back. All right, so let me show you how I fished this thing out. I forgot about that, so I came back to fish it out. So, you know, old rod that broke, I just used this, and what I do is I go down this side, because there's the cavity that's up in here, feeling for the wires, which I can't feel at all this time because I'm recording, of course. There we go. You snake it out. So if the Rev can do it, everybody can do it. Because once again, this is not what I do. All right, I'm back. I put one side of the lights on, so let's run this test. Here's my power box. I hooked the main motherboard into the power box. I got this on the bow lights, and I got that on the mid section. So if I hit this B, well, first of all, I gotta power it on. That would help. Power it on, and power on this system. Everything lights up. So if I want the mids, I hit mid. Oh no, not the top one. That's for Wi-Fi. I hit the M. All right, there's my mid. For bow, there's the bow. Oh, sookie, y'all. I'm almost cooking now, man. All right, so let me finish hooking everything up. I just wanted to show y'all. This thing says it's supposed to snap, man. I ain't hear no snap, but I imagine I made sure it was snug. I heard it like a little suction thing, so it's got to be the same thing. I hate when they say you ought to hear something or do something and it don't do quite what it says, but we know we got a connection. Like I said, I probably got to shore it up to make sure there's no leaks. But I mean, with this rubber and with the other stuff, as tight as it is, and the water doesn't normally come up to that point. So, I mean, I should be good, but we'll see. But anyway, there you go. We got some lights on. Let's finish doing the rest of this. And I'm glad I did it on the box first, because I was misunderstanding what the 3/4 inch was. And I thought it was down there, but it's not. This is the 3/4 inch. And so at the 3/4 inch, this will actually, there's enough room to put the plug in as well as my my spotlight. But I think instead of going 3/4 with it, I'm gonna go 5/16. Let me see, make sure that's right. No, 11/16. 11/16 is better than I can just screw this thing in. And I think that'll be a better fit. And then I'll put the cap. See, I'll try to just screw this in, and then I'll put the cap on it to tighten it up. So we're gonna go with the 11/16 first, and then see how that fits. Tell you, man, you start putting holes in your kayak, that's more than an ocean, bro. You better make sure everything you do is legit and right and accurate. So we already marked the spot where we want it. Now we just have to make sure we see where that 11/16 is. So you want to make sure you're going straight down. That's it right there. Just before the 5/16, tighten that up. Get that in there good. It's snug on that end. Now, my cap fell. I gotta tell y'all, man, I'm definitely excited about doing this. Like I told y'all, this is just not something that I would normally do. Bring it all the way up to the base. Screw that thing on. And it is sealed, y'all. That thing is in. Take my light, line it up. Booyah.